Hello Exiles, Red Lord here. Just a quick one today talking about my league starter, what I'm gonna be doing. First of all, I just gotta say, don't take this seriously. This is definitely not a guide. This is just something that I slapped together quick because I'm quite tight on time right now and I didn't have much time to plan out my league starter and all of that. So I'm going safe this time. I'm just gonna go for Earth Shatter on Chieftain Ascendancy because I want to get the free resists and pretty much the bonuses like Warcries have infinite power, maybe even the Fist of War support as a free, and mainly in endgame I just want to have the maximum resist solved by Valakos Storm's Embrace. As always, PoB is gonna be in the description, but as I said, don't take this seriously. This is pretty much just a template that I did. I just put in some random X, no items whatsoever. It's just gonna be looking like the classic league starting scenario, just life and resists, maybe some armor if ideally, and as much physical damage on an X as possible. I'm gonna be scaling two-handed axes because to make this build a bit different than every other Earthshatter build. Ideally, I would be using Earthshatter of Prominence eventually, which I'm definitely gonna be doing. If it sucks, then, or if you don't like it, if you decide to tag along, feel free to do so. But if Earthshatter of Prominence sucks, I'm just gonna switch 1-to-1 with Earthshatter Classic, and it's gonna be good. I know that. I guess everybody knows that Earthshatter is gonna be good. And yeah, this is just some random supports which I put in that I know I'm gonna be using during the campaign. First of all, I'm just gonna start with Ground Slam, of course, in Act 1, and on level 12, I believe it is. Yeah, on level 12, I'm gonna switch to Earthshatter and use that until the end of the character. The other thing that is interesting in this build, or gonna be interesting in this build, I'm gonna be using General's Cry with lesser rate of butchering and going Impale. I actually played something similar to this thing, and let me pull it up real quick. During the Freesha League, this is just completely different build, of course, but just to give you a picture, how would it look like? How would the lesser rate of butchering look like? And this AoE that you see is not unrealistic whatsoever. The AoE scaling for lesser rate of butchering just is there. It has some insane like AoE potential baked into the gem, but the downside of just 40% base attack speed, and that's a huge downside. That's why you usually don't want to use it like self-cast it because the attack speed penalty. However, it comes with the upside of having insane attack damage effectiveness, 629. That's times 2 because you can hit with both waves of the lesser rate. And from my experience, the General's Cry dudes that you summon and they use one lesser rate and then disappear, they always, pretty much always hit with both lesser rates unless you're overriding them mid-attack. They deal so much damage, it helps you for single target, helps you for clearing. Right, and the idea is, of course, to just scale cooldown recovery, and by the way, General's Cry has a low cooldown by itself, just 3 seconds, and just scale cooldown recovery to get the dudes be summoned as much as possible, and at the same time, we're gonna sort of double dip by doing this, because the General's Cry, since it has so low cooldown time, we can use it as a procer of our Earthshatter of Prominence or Earthshatter Pillars, right? So we're just gonna be attacking, and all of the proccing is gonna be fully automated. As I said, I played something similar. Actually, I didn't say that. I played something similar before the auto exertion actually existed, and I had to play with Eternal Apple and play with the cooldowns a lot. All of that stuff. This should be now gone just because of auto exertion setup and another auto exertion setup and possibly even another auto exertion setup or self-casting Seismic Cry. I mean, we shall see. Sky is the limit. And other than that, just some random skills that I'm gonna be using in the build. I also split the PoB into 4 sections. First 25 points, second 25 points, third and fourth. As I said, don't take this seriously. Definitely not. This is just something that I made pretty much for myself. But if you want to get inspired by it, just feel free to do so. I myself believe that this is gonna be, especially this like Act 1 setup or Act 1, Act 2 setup is gonna be definitely good for damage with two-handers. It is gonna feel good. Melee is actually good. Melee is actually good. Melee is not what it used to be like all those years ago. So Yeah, melee good, guys, melee good. As I said, I'm gonna be a chieftain ascendancy, just because I want to get defensiveness of the chieftain ascendancy, and if needed, I can always, just by slapping on some currency onto the build, I can always yoink something from Warbringer, probably from Berserker, and probably I'm gonna yoink Warbringer to exert twice as many attacks, just to get more intimidating cries for double damage, right? Because also I'm gonna try and scale some attack speed. I'm gonna be scaling Impale, don't know if I mentioned it. Resolute technique, Impale with Axis, pretty simple concept. The interesting part is gonna be combining the Auto Exertion General's Cry with like Axis and the Earth Shatter itself. Should be a nice quote-unquote double dipping, and rage uptime is gonna be permanent because of the rage mastery right here. Warcries grant 1%, 1 rage per 5 enemy power. We're gonna have infinite power, that means up to 5. We're gonna get, every time we Warcry, we're gonna get 5 rage, and that basically means if we get the cooldown of General's Cry to be under 2 seconds, we're gonna have permanent rage uptime, which is pretty easy, and that makes me consider combining it with the new Bloodline Ascendancy. And I'm of course talking about this one, the Oshabi Ascendancy. That means we're gonna have to slay Oshabi to get this one. But the Wild Bear, plus 20 rage, maximum rage. Lose all rage on reaching maximum rage to gain adrenaline for 1 second per 10 rage lost. I did the counting, you can get just from this and the skill tree alone, you're able to get up to like 80 rage, I believe. Yeah, I just counted it again. From the skill tree and the ascendancy, we're gonna be able to get up to 80 rage, and that's a lot of rage. That's a lot of rage. That's 80% more damage. But the problem is, once you reach the maximum, you're gonna lose all the rage to gain adrenaline, and then you have downtime of rage where you don't have any rage and need to regen it again. Might feel clunky. If it feels bad, you can just say, screw you, Wild Bear, and you can just take all 4 ascendancy nodes on the chieftain. I mean, these 2 we're gonna be taking definitely. Scion for Warcry's infinite power, that's a build maker for the build, and this one is optional. If the Wild Bear sucks, I'm just gonna keep this one for the level 20 Fist of War, and easy additional gem, like 7 link for free. Alright, and I believe that's pretty much it. Easy build. Something that I know for sure is gonna get me through the game. And yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to share. Good luck everyone with your league status, and I guess see you in the build diary.